Hello, people. Hello, everyone out there. Hello to our viewers. You're welcome to another exciting episode of your favorite podcast on radio, your favorite program, 3,000 Miles. And it's still me, your humble servant, Kay, and I'm here with my co-host, Dimeji, all the way from Belfast. He's still with me. And today we have a lot of people in the house. We're going to be talking and we're going to be rubbing minds in the spirit of, still in the spirit of independence. Over the weekend, it was the Independence Day of Nigeria, my country. Happy independence to us. So in the spirit of independence and in the spirit of patriotism, we are going to be talking about a very interesting topic today. It's a very trendy topic that a lot of people have been passionate about it, both online and offline, on social media, on radio, everywhere. And it's the next presidential election. What's the fate of Nigeria? Because the campaign just started recently. Campaigns actually started today, I guess. So it's in full swing. And for the first time in a very, very long time, let's say since we started this new era of democracy in 1999, it's a three-horse race, and this is the first time this has happened. Before now, it's usually the PDP versus any other stronger opposition like the APC, and before that it was the Labour Party and all likes. But right now it's a three-horse race, and what's so interesting about this year's election is people are looking more into the personality than the party. I think that's what that's what people are looking at. Abdul, what do you think about that?
Yeah, thank you. I think it's more about the personality now than the party, because people are tired of the party, the two-horse race, like you said, the three-horse race, and now people are looking more at the personality. Who is the best candidate to lead Nigeria into another 4 years? Or are they going to be drawn back to where they're coming from, or still stay where they are? So I think people are now all about the personality rather than the tribe, rather than the religion. So personality is going to be the one that is going to take the whole day.
Okay, hitting it from there, I need to show this to the house, to everybody, Byron, Zainab, Dimeji. If Peter Obi, which is one of the strong candidates, where I know most of the youths are really more in tune to the obedient philosophy. A lot of them are obedient and they are useful and everything. If Peter Obi was in APC, the ruling party, will it be any different with the way people are going? Because right now a lot of people have been clamoring, we need change, APC didn't do well, let's try somebody who's younger, who has ideas, blah blah and all. If Peter Obi was in the APC, would he still get same fame is getting among the youth? Would he still get that? Let's talk.
First, I doubt it, because looking at the present administration, came from the APC, so it's going to be hard to market another candidate from APC based on the fact that they basically failed us. So it's going to be very difficult. So if Peter B was in APC, for example, it won't really get.
So what you're actually saying is that there is actually a clash. You're actually contradicting what Abdul earlier said, that we're looking more into the personality than the party, honestly.
Yeah, so for me, right, I think if Peter Obi was in APC, I think people would, the fact that it's not even about the party right now. If it's all the things he has been saying right now, if he's in APC and he keeps saying that, I think people would say, okay, if this person is in APC and he's still saying this same thing, and they see the kind of idea he's got, all the plans he's got, I think people are going to vote for him.
I feel honestly, because the last election, Peter Obi was in the camp of
PDP.
Atiku.
Yeah,
it was with Atiku, and people were supporting them.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it's kind of strange that people were ready to see Atiku be the president, with Peter Obi being his vice. And right now, people don't want to even, the young people don't want to even see, they are not articulated anymore.
It's so funny, yeah. The thing now is, Peter Obi was also in PDP when he wanted to picked up the form. So he felt, okay, Atiku, he didn't want to be under the shadows of Atiku. He wanted to stand on his own. And like we said, if Atiku was in Labour Party and Peter Obi was a PDP flag bearer, I stand to be corrected. People will still vote for Peter Obi and forget about the party. They'll forget about the party and look at Peter Obi. That is it.
But the thing is, what is really so special about Peter Obi? What is so special? Dimeji, you have been quiet. It's like, Dimeji, you're writing. Dimeji is ready to blow. He's ready to blow.
I have a very different opinion from the ongoing motion, and that is where I'm going to scatter the whole dice on the table.
But I've asked the question. I said, what is so special about Peter Obi? What is really so special?
Nothing is special about everybody, because you see, we that were in diaspora right now, we should understand where Omoyele Sowore is coming from. These people have been insulting us and spitting to our face over the years. What they are selling to our brothers and sisters back home, all in the name of leadership, is a very, very big insult. And we need to let them understand that at the way the world is pacing right now, Nigeria is lagging behind, 100 years behind its contemporary in the world. And it's a very big shame. Now, we all claim, I really think we snap out easily, because everybody, we want freedom, indeed independence. And I don't blame the masses, I don't blame the people. Now, I've moved this discussion up ladder. If you listen to me very carefully, I am now holding this discussion with we that were in diaspora, that we have experienced the two worlds.
Yeah.
I understand our people, because there's a time we don't know what we know now. And what is still being discussed on the table right now should be the main focus, regardless of whoever is on board. To me, I really dislike what people are doing, because it's still more like a repeated pattern. And what we did in the time that got Jonathan in power, that got the same sentiment that got Buhari into power, that we thought Buhari is going to be the Captain America, bringing up the cape and bringing up a superhero suit and putting all the corrupt people in behind bars, happened to be the fact that his own government seems to be the most corrupt ever.
Yeah.
Now, someone is selling us dreams again and hope. Someone is selling us dreams and hope.
Okay, let me hold you there. I want to you continue, but I want to pick something you said from here. You talked about sentiment. So you feel, we'll come back to your end of the story. So you feel right now that people are being sentimental with the Peter Obi, the obedient vibes and everything. Is that what you feel?
No. You see, what I'm trying to say is that I'm encouraging people to focus on nation building, to focus on what really matters. This is not a game of whoever is involved. Now, if we look at intelligent discussions, you will be surprised to know that there are some people that are presidential aspirants, if not even as popular as Peter Obi, that have said some cogent things that, to me, could actually be a right direction in the right move. As a very, very, very intelligent. The question is, he has been
the thing
also to people like that has put us into shambles like this. What have they been doing years after years and coming to sell us?
No. But the thing I want to say here is,
we had it done in the jar one time that we all pitched sentiment.
What I want to say here is to us is that I think the network is a bit shaky for Dimeji. But what I want to say right now is, people feel, okay, we are being sentimental with Peter Obi, but before now, they were stronger candidates. They were candidates who had ideologies. My question is, why did they not push so much force like Peter Obi is doing right now? Because during the past election, we had Kingsley Moghalu, who was really, is a very bright individual. We had Fela Durotai, the man who talk but never does.
Yeah.
So, but why did somebody like Kingsley Moghalu, why did he not gather so much? He's a young man. Why didn't he gather so much energy like Peter Obi is doing right now? Why?
He does not have experience in politics. No experience in
valid
politics.
Point.
Yeah,
valid
no experience in politics. You can be an entrepreneur. You could talk. Business-wise, you're up there. But when it comes to leading a nation, you don't have the character. You understand? Because then when this other man that Fela Durotoye, he did not have a lot, or he did not know the insight of the north, the east, the west, and the south. He was based in Lagos. He was seeing the thing happening in Lagos, I would have said, if I was Fela Durotoye, start from the National State Assembly, pick up your own from there. From there, you keep improving yourself before you now say you want to go into the presidential candidates. Where did you come from? Who are your political godfathers? What do you know about politics? What do you know about insurgency? It's not about you coming to, there is a difference between you leading the minds of 100 youth. That is a different thing. He is an entrepreneur, but politically based, he has a zero scorecard.
Now listen, please let me chip in this. Let us also understand the antecedent of the NSAS that is leading to the change the youth wants. Let us separate the truth from facts. The truth is an average Nigerian is tired of the system in place in Nigeria. An average Nigerian youth is tired of police brutality. He's tired of poverty. He's tired of lagging behind against his contemporaries in the world. Now the question is, who is going to beat down this system in place? Is it someone who has benefited from this system, has spent 8 years in this system? I love Peter Obi. I'm not in support of any candidate, but the question right now is how now, the way forward discussion we should be discussing right now is our economical plan. With our president who is going to be trying places and telling us that the greed in Egypt, they have gone to this and gone to that, and they have come with whatever, and they are giving us promises short. They are still promising us good road in 2022, promising us stable electricity in 2022, which is a very, very stupid thing for a 21st century leader to be pushing forward to a giant of Africa like Nigeria. Now, we are talking about an average class. What plan do you have for the middle class? I put forward an argument to say the best way for you to build an economy is your plan for the middle class. Who is talking about the middle class plan here? What policy do they have? What credit system are they holding the bank against? How are they going to pull down the system down? They are coming again, still insulting us and telling us that they are going to give us good road and everything. If our
I want to call. I want to hit you there, Dimeji.
For those people that are benefiting from putting more and more pain in our people, that's the question. So it's not all about candidates now. What are we going to do against this system?
Dimeji, the thing I'll hit here is, I'll start from what Abdul said. Abdul made mention of Fela Durotoye not being an entrepreneurial person and not more of a political juggernaut.
Yeah.
And that's very correct. Looking at the United States, when Trump came into power, people celebrated him as somebody who had no experience. He came from an entrepreneurial background, but he failed woefully. He failed, and it was very visible.
In some aspects,
no, he got impeached. Popular opinion. Yes, he was able to reply, but popular opinion. If you look at his history, he got impeached, and for a president to get impeached means you have failed, irrespective.
I think Trump speaks more about a personality, about his attitude, more than, because if you compare Trump administration to Joe Biden, that has not even spent full of his administration right now, we will know. To me, he's more of a person. He had guts and he was insulting.
Yes, he had guts. That is where the political wisdom comes in. Yeah. As a president, you should understand that there are some things you should say and you shouldn't say, even if you have the veto power. And that's where experience comes in. Somebody who is experienced take for example now, football. You see young players who are not experienced, the way they behave, and older players who are experienced. You see it, even the younger players are more talented. You see that these older players are more disciplined and they go far.
Yeah.
That's exactly what politics is. And now, coming back to you talked about 21st century leader giving us promises from good roads and everything. I've listened to Peter Obi several times. By God's grace, I've listened to all the candidates several times. And you hardly see Peter Obi talking about giving you good roads. He's more focused on building the economy.
Yeah. And
that is where we should be right now. That is where it's focused. Unlike Tinubu, who is wanting to give us Agbado and Wagari and
you know why I'm a bit angry? Do you know why I'm a bit angry? Now, I will dish this out for you. The same sentiment. If Nigerians, our leaders, were actually interested in national building, Peter Obi in PDP was a very, very good clash. PDP part have some very, very stupid.
The thing is, I will say right now is, Peter Obi as a person, personality-wise, because there's always a saying where you are faced with 3 or 4, 5 evils, you choose the lesser evil. People have been saying Peter Obi didn't do anything, he worked in Anambra, he didn't do anything. But the man is coming to tell you that he's been open with his statement. It's left for you to come and disprove him with facts.
Yeah.
Because when the man speaks, he speaks with facts.
Sure.
I've listened to him over, even when he was in the US recently. He talked about how the money he left in Anambra State coffers.
Yeah.
He talked about the stuff he did in Anambra State coffers. It's left for anybody now to come and say, Peter Obi, you are lying. Oh, these are the figures. But so far, so good. I only see Reno Mokri. It's so unfortunate that I will insult him. He's somebody who I feel is a very stupid man. He comes and he begins to say what he likes, just to extol his candidate. It's so unfortunate that there was a day I wanted to reply him on social media when Peter Obi posted his certificate, how he got a third class in philosophy from UNN. And Reno Mokri came online and said even his own secretary or his personal assistant has a better qualification, academic qualification than Peter Obi.
That's politics.
That's dirty politics. I wanted to reply him. The reply I wanted to give him was, but I said I would give him this reply after the elections. I wrote it down somewhere and I'm going to send it to him. I'm going to tell him, I said, you are looking at politics is not a matter of certificates and who is more educationally exposed. It's about how you play and how well you play. You, with all your your educational exposure, all your degrees of your PA, someone with a questionable WAEC result defeated your Oga, who was
Zainab. Please, I want to buttress more on what you said. And this is an example. I was in Egypt and I saw in Egypt His Excellency LCC, who was building Egypt till this moment. You know what he did? They built a structure in Egypt that is 100% Egyptian. And he did what he called call back home, an exodus, calling all Egyptian brain and expertise, making Egypt livable. Now, okay, all Egyptians in Canada, in UK, in US, please come home. Let us rebuild our nation, national building. So what is so wrong in that we've been here, we've been working for a radio station, we've listing operate, and we are now in the Ministry of Information. That is see, I am not against any candidate. I am against the system that is in place, that I see no one able to dismantle it. Okonjo-Iweala came up forward recently and said this same system and structure got our own father kidnapped, our parents kidnapped, and do you know what they demanded for her? Her resignation. Why? Because she wouldn't let some figures pass through her table.
But don't you think?
That frustrated Goodluck Jonathan.
Okay, but don't you think somebody like Peter Obi will be able to break that system?
No.
Brother,
no. Because the thing is,
I don't think the leaders actually want Nigeria to work. If Peter Obi are taking the presidential ticket in PDP and there's a strong structure, name strong people are behind Peter Obi.
Yeah.
Do you know what it takes to go against a working system? That is even if they have a clear chance of winning against.
But do you know? Do you know right now? Do you know right now? See, I must say, the man took the bull by the horn. He did, because he wasn't the only one contesting in the PDP then.
Yeah.
Wike was contesting himself and a couple of Atiku and the likes. And what did he do? He knew that, okay, this system, instead of folding into this, he would have definitely folded in and say, okay, let me work with Atiku and still be his vice. And that seems to come into the system. Am I right?
Yeah.
But he left the system. See, this is not me by any means trying to praise the man or trying to say I'm in support. I am in support of a better Nigeria. Let me lay that fact down. But what he did was brave. He left the PDP because before now we know the two strongest parties, PDP and the APC.
APC.
If you are not in the APC, you're not in the PDP. You can't even have a chance towards the presidency.
Sure.
He left the two parties.
Who is
He
clapping
left.
for him? The people,
Yes.
the people are clapping for him. The people
Yes.
he wants to fight for are for him. System
Yes, he left the whole he left that system and he went to a party like Labour that does not even have one state governor, and people started laughing that the party he went to does not have a structure. And we, the young Nigerians, we come out and say we are the structure. So for doing that alone shows how bold the man is to make change. He has gone to another different level right now, and is hitting from there. And to the greatest surprise of many people, to be honest with me, the level of turnout, the level of support he's getting, both because initially they said it was social media support.
Okay.
I know a lot of people are saying it's social media, but with October 1st, normally October 1st in Nigeria is the day where we go to the stadium, right?
Yeah.
And march before the governors, march before the president. But I'm too surprised that this year October 1st was dedicated to doing a march for an incoming president, which has never happened
But then
before a political
the
year.
question I was asking Zainab I was like, look, everybody went out en masse to go out to march. But at the end of the day, how many of these people have got their PVCs?
That is that. We will
How
come.
many?
We will come to that. It's a gradual thing. We'll come to that. But
House, I witnessed before I came here. You see, when I'm getting angry, pissed with this, because I've rolled with these people.
yeah,
And when you dine with the devil, you know how hell operates. Trust me, you understand that there are some stories that are good for a book and whatever, maybe Nollywood. The devil is not a creature for you to hug so long. I witnessed an Oyo youth revolution that happened that ushered in current governor, which is sitting governor. That's Seyi
Makinde.
Makinde.
yeah.
And fortunately, it was an outright frustration. People just going against APC. So it wasn't about a candidate. It's about people just
Getting frustrated with the party.
PDP. So it was a jackpot for who just had the nerves to say, I want to contest for this in all local government and everything. Now, that is the kind of blind sentimental experience in Nigeria. And you ask me how your GDP got in till now. Seyi Makinde is sitting right there, and I can still hold him by the fact that comparing with and the GDP and everything that they've generated, because I have friends in how can we compare so far? You see, these are the opium people, the massive stake. It's like I hate Abdul, I don't want anything to do. So I show you a love that I don't understand you, and I don't even care. I just want you to sit on the throne. Now that is not bad because we are tired of some level. Now it is now a careful study of building a structure, which is my question put forward. Showore, all these guys, system have they got in place to give us a promising Nigeria? And that's the question I'm asking everyone right now. Because let us shift this discussion away from candidates and let us talk about the system, because we are benefiting from a system.
No, the thing is, Dimeji,
got in place
you
destroy the system in place in Nigeria to give us a better Nigeria.
you have a point, because the thing about Nigerian politics is there's always that sentiment in it, no matter what. I was able to witness a discussion someday with a couple of guys. I one told the other one, said, if tomorrow I'm going to contest as a president, will you vote for me or will you not vote for me? And the next guy said, you be my guy now, so I go vote for you. So you already see that sentiment. You don't even care if I'm going to perform. You just want to say, I'm my guy. So it's we cannot take sentiment out of politics.
Yeah.
In politics, there's always that level of sentiment. You want to vote for a particular candidate because he's from your tribe,
Yeah.
or because you've known somebody who knows somebody who knows him,
Or religion.
or is a Christian, or
Yeah.
there's always that sentimental factor to it. But aside the sentimental factor, there's also the factor of performance. And I think Nigerians, we are getting to that level where we are looking way beyond sentiment. There's always this, the sentiment is also there. No, let me finish.
You will agree with me if we talk about.
I think we have a caller. I think we have a caller right now. So let's take a call.
Hello.
Hello. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, my name is George. I'm calling from Glasgow.
Okay.
Yes. No, very interesting conversation. I think, first of all, I want to appreciate you guys for bringing this conversation because this is very important. You see, Nigeria election, I'm not from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Nigeria election is set the space for Africa.
Okay.
And it's the most important election on the continent.
Yeah.
The problem we're having is this conversation that you people are having now. You understand, like all the examples of people going to tribal lineage and stuff like that. Listen, Nigeria is a modern society that needs to set a good example. And the only way they can set that good example is to move away from that north-south divide.
Yeah.
If there's a candidate that is standing for Nigeria election, that gives Nigeria an opportunity for economic growth and for a neutral society is so important. It doesn't matter. See, Europe has gone rid of tribal clans and all that kind of stuff. Why are we still stuck in the past? There is no clan. There is no clan in Europe. There is no, but there are different clans. But there is no clan in Europe. There is no tribe. The reason for that is because we are not just saying that culturally there are certain things that will not follow.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that we have to respect. The political institution need to know that the people of Nigeria and the people of Africa, let me just say the people of Nigeria, the people of Africa, they need to know that, we have a modern society. We have a modern society in Nigeria. We have, there are people that travel to Nigeria and in Lagos, Abuja, everywhere for work and for, to go and find their own way. They don't want to go to Europe because they feel like they're connected to the culture. But Nigeria needs to present something better. So we need to move away, whether Peter Obi come from Tinubu come from this side, or all that nonsense. No, let's move away from this. So me, what I'm looking for. You mentioned Sowore there and all that kind of stuff. Understand? Why can we not give the people the opportunity? Let's try something different. You understand? Tinubu is coming under the umbrella of APC. He's the godfather of APC. He's put so many governors. You understand?
Yeah.
So let's move away from the normal thing. I'm saying this, if there is any Nigeria electorate and the people in diaspora that need to send message back home, please send message back home for your people to vote for something. Let's try something that we don't know.
But George, I need to ask you a question here. Do you think it's easy to detribalize politics in Nigeria? Do you think that's something that can be done?
It's very possible. That's exactly what Peter Obi is doing. That is, I'm not, as I said to you, I'm not a Nigerian, but I'm telling you.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Cameroon.
Oh, you're our brother.
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm just telling you. You understand? So, I didn't want to come on this, not identify myself, but I want to make it very clear that me, I've been following Nigerian politics for more than 10 years, and I know every time I get disappointed, my heart breaks. You understand?
Yeah.
Every time I get disappointed because, we will look to Nigeria like where everything is going to happen. It will set the example for Africa. But every time Nigeria will fail. And then you disappoint a lot of people in Africa when we do that. But this is where we need to have, now is the time, it's 2022, my brother. We need to make sure that we have the right candidate that will create an aspiration. You see what Obama did in America?
Yeah.
We don't have that example in Africa.
We don't. Not at all.
So we have the opportunity now. Either we give Sowore a chance or we give Peter Obi chance because these are people that are abnormal.
But do you think Sowore will be? Do you think Sowore is a political person or is just an activist? Because there are people who are politically inclined and people who are activists.
Why not? Why
Kev,
not?
Sorry.
Because it's always easy. Because I feel it's always easy to have an opposing view. But when your opposing view now become the majority, the mainstream view, what do you do at that point?
No. Let me say something. Let me say something. You understand? I think Dimeji want to come in, but I want to say something. You see, Sodeke has been since he was a student. He has been consistently fighting the system for fighting the system. Why can we not give Sodeke a chance? Why can we not give? Okay, Peter Obi has said all the things that he has said in the media. Nobody has. I heard you saying earlier. Nobody has disproved him. You understand?
Yeah.
We cannot go on propaganda, my brother. This is real life. You understand? This is real life. You know, me and you, we are in Scotland, where 65,000 students have been admitted to come to the UK. You know what? That's brain drain, my brother.
Exactly.
You understand? We are removing everybody talented in Africa, just so that people can come and survive. You know why they come and survive here? They don't even have place to stay. You know, so we cannot continue to be that way. Meanwhile, we have a lot of land everywhere. You know, so we have to make sure that we elect the people that have been telling us that no, is better. The devil you know is better than the one you don't know. Now, lie. You understand? You understand? It doesn't work like that.
George,
you know? Yes, sir.
I just want to buttress on what you said. You see, I'm the least person who can be trapped. I've got my friends from South. South. I don't care. I've got northern friends, but I cares. I've suffered from it. You see, the fact comes to power. This is a tool, and we need to understand the tool. Until you suffer from the effect of this, you now understand where you belong. Because you ask the question, where do I belong? In all the division. You come to guys have been making names of it. You see, the most I don't want to see some derogatory statements here. They are truth. This now, people have been saying poking the bear in the eyes, picking the card of bigotry and tribalism, and it has been a useful tool. You can testify to that fact, and that has been the play. We don't know what will be the next play card, but it is the play card vibe right now because they will say, go and look at most obedience. And these are Eastern people, and these are Igbo people. I don't have anything against. As a matter of fact, Yoruba and Igbos are the ones that have married themselves the most. According to our history, we've never had any war. We never had any recorded war.
Go and verify. You can go and verify.
I love them. The truth is, it has been very, very important to the hand of politicians. You're asking a question, and I'm still putting it forward to everybody. Who has that structure to dismantle this system of sentiment in place? Because it is easy for you to say these people are fighting for number one, but number two, number three, number four, number five, to number 1,000 is a certain tribe. So how come are you going to tell me that number one is going to enjoy that seat when the sentiment from number 2 to number 1,000 already have that bigotry and divisive tendency in their hearts? Now you see where I'm pointing towards.
Yeah, I get your point. I want to just thank everybody for your contribution. So far, so good. In case you just, Mr. George, thank you very much for the contribution over the phone, and I want to just thank everybody for your contribution. In case you're just joining us, we're having a very interesting topic because it's been going on and on and on and on and on. We're talking about the next presidential election, the fate of Nigeria. And in case you're just joining, it's still Jambo Radio Scotland, and you can actually follow us on all our social media platforms on Jambo Radio Scotland, and on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and also we're on smart speakers. You can follow us on smart speakers to listen to us anytime, and also you can listen to us on our website, which is www.jamboradio.co.uk. The phone lines are still open. The number to call is +44 743 782 6865. I repeat again, +44 743 782 6865. So we actually have about 20 minutes to go. We've been hitting. We have still a lot to say. So I want to just shift a little bit. Last week, the peace accord was signed. It was signed last week, and while it was signed, all the candidates were there, except for one candidate. One candidate was not there. The man who we call him Lokon, who feels he's a stone. The vice was there, and there was a backlash. And Showore was really very bold. It was Showore who took the bull by the horn. And I saw a clip where he was really very livid. That how can you have to sign a peace accord, and your candidate you are sending the vice presidential candidate to sign? You've not even entered into power. You're already delegating important state duties to your vice president. It was really funny. People came on social media and people thought, and somebody said something. I listened to one of his spokesman and I was like, this guy needs to be sacked. He said Tinubu needs to rest. He went to rest. He cannot rest in Lagos. If he's in Lagos, they won't let him rest. He works 20 hours out of the 24 hours in the whole day. He went to Abuja to rest. They did not still let him rest. People were disturbing him and they were seeing him. So we thought it wise to send him to London to rest. And I'm like, is there any sense in what this man just said on national TV?
The question you should ask yourself is, the sitting president right now, did he attend the presidential debate before he came into power?
No. So you see,
Atiku went back because it was an insult. The only person those people who gave us a very good show at the last presidential debate were the vice president, which is the current one, Yemi Osinbajo and Peter Obi.
Exactly.
So what are we saying now? The question now is, see, I will be so happy to find an intellectual winning this seat of power.
Honestly, we need somebody.
Yes, but with what happened in APC, with the person who picked the presidential ticket, and with what I am seeing playing card in PDP, that they lost someone as Peter Obi, who have been a very good contender, and now they are breaking it because of that sentiment I'm still pointing towards right now. Because I don't even know what is going behind the doors of corridors. I mean, the power. Trust me, things are going on, and we are still going to see some surprise margin.
And it was so funny. Somebody posted on social media yesterday, because after the whole backlash, people started coming up to say Tinubu must have died, Tinubu is sick and everything. And the next thing, Baba Lepon posted a video of himself
on a tricycle.
And the next thing, somebody posted something that made me laugh. Said people are actually candidates are actually doing campaign and manifesto, while some candidates are posting video of proof of life.
Proof of life.
Truth is, politically, there has been a lot of propaganda put forward about this guy wearing catheter, pissing on his body.
No, exactly. There are question marks over his health, and the truth is, you can't have question marks over people's health if there's an element of truth there.
True.
Because somebody can just say, somebody cannot wake up today and say Kevwe is sick.
It's more like there are question marks over everything about him. If you look at it, education, his age, everything.
Yeah.
So how can you say
even his identity too?
Yeah, that as well.
Because I was following one of the bloggers, Just Lovers, though I don't really, it's not a recognized news source, but I followed them sometimes, and they did a post one time questioning Tinubu's identity. That his actual name is not even Tinubu. That is someone's identity he stole so he could travel to the US. Yeah, I think we got another caller. Let's take the call. Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Please, your name and where you're calling from.
Hello. Sorry, it's George again. George again.
Okay.
No, this topic. Me, I'm very passionate about this election.
Yeah.
Because I think we have one chance now in Africa, by the grace of God. I think we have one chance to make a lasting change that will replicate across Africa. seriously. You understand? Let me tell you, that peace accord, that peace accord you just mentioned now, that peace accord is the most wrong thing that to do. Do you know when they say peace accord is in a country that there is war.
Okay.
Do we have war in Nigeria?
At the moment, I won't say yes, I won't say no.
No. You answer me. Why are you taking that?
No, because
The straight answer is no. The straight answer is no.
the country is in chaos.
You have a plan for your
There's prospect of chaos from this election.
Exactly. So that's why I feel the peace accord is that you signing, and because they do it even when we're in school, when we're in university. If we want to go for demonstrations, we go to the police to sign some form of undertaking that this is going to be peaceful and everything. But this is an election where they know. Looking at the history of Nigerian elections, it's been very volatile. Going back to 2012, 2011, I was a witness of that when Jonathan came into power. That was where the rise of Ahmadiyya started, where there was propaganda everywhere that Jonathan used the COP members then, because at that point they started using coppers to conduct elections, and Jonathan said,
I was part of those COP members.
I was part of the election. I had friends in Bauchi where the whole thing rose from. I had friends who almost died. I had people who lost their life in Bauchi because of the fallout from the elections.
Yes, sorry, bro. I want to say something there.
Yeah.
The thing that you are saying, understand? Remember, in that time, in Jonathan time, we had a lot of problem with Boko Haram.
Exactly.
So the country was somehow partly in a war, with terrorism. But now, you understand, we fast calm. But
I disagree with you on that. I must disagree with you on that, sir. We do not have calm because there is still a lot of uprising in terms of the Boko Haram. Even now, the ungun men and the unknown gunmen.
No, there's kidnapping. No, I don't that. It's here. You understand the continuous armed robbery, all the illegal stuff that's happening. We know it.
There's still insurgency in the north. Even in as much as we want to shy away from it, and the presidency is trying to cover it, there's still insurgency in the north.
Yes. So how do we solve that problem?
That's where we are right now. We're trying to see how we can elect a new president.
No. Listen, it's not by signing a peace agreement in Abuja that will stop that problem. You understand? The people that are in power, they control the military. Buhari is a commander of chiefs and this and that. Why is it does nothing? You understand?
See, Nigeria is very complicated than being a straight jacket discussion. I know what I'm saying. I've done and I've sat with these people in power. Trust me. Look, my question is also, I want to put this forward. Poverty has been weaponized. So this same youth that you are so trusting that they will be behind Peter Obi, how sure are you that they are not going to collect ground envelope and actually vote?
People have actually said it. People have said it.
No. Listen, let me before I go away, I need to go. But okay. I just want to make my point very clear that I did not see any point, and I support Suarez for that. The point that he raised. What is the point for even though he went there, understand? What is the point to sign a peace agreement? You understand? When you are in peace time. You understand? You are in peace time. You don't have to sign any peace agreement. That means we don't trust everybody now.
No, the thing is, you can't say we are in peace. To be honest with you, Nigeria is not in. We are not in a state of peace and rest. I won't say that. I would not say. I won't try to preach it out to the world to make it look like we are living in peace.
What is that peace agreement going to change differently? If they want to make elections,
the peace agreement, nobody's saying it's going to change anything. It might not change anything, but in future, it might be a binding document that can be used against a candidate. You should know that when you sign something, it's just like you are agreeing to be peaceful, and the end of the day you are not peaceful. Somebody can take that document to a court and say you agree to be peaceful.
But we've had other elections that they signed the peace accord, and we see how violence breaking out. So
what
happened?
That is in Nigeria.
The last election, exactly. The last election wasn't so as violent as previous elections. I would say the last election.
Lord Jonathan saved us.
Exactly.
The candidate said that if he had lost that election, he's going to make
bloodshed. Exactly. Bloodshed.
So,
that there'll be bloodshed.
it's
He
just-
made that statement.
It's just been wise. Jonathan was so wise, and Jonathan said the blood of any Nigerian is not worth coming into power. And those are the kind of people we need in power. People who are selfless, who are ready to put people first. Because looking at the difference between the African society, one of the major differences between the African society and the Western world is that they put their citizens first, which is very classical. I've experienced issues.
Sorry. 3,000 miles. Me, all of us have traveled 3,000 miles or 6,000 miles.
Exactly.
We are here. You understand now? Now, what are we saying to our people?
Good. From my own angle, I'll pick that question.
Yes.
What I'm trying to tell people now is the fact that you see, system works here and make sure as much as possible that you put away sentiment. They won't see Nigeria is lagging behind, and just like you said, the fate of Africa as a whole is tied to this election. What is the fate of this election coming? Is right in your palm. It's not all about I'm Igbo, I'm vying for obedience. Yoruba, it is Tinubu. I've collected money. Atiku has paid me and has bought me a car. This is time for us to think very, very well. Think about our land, think about our future, think about what is at stake. Think about how far we are lagging behind, and we listen. We support those people that we know that they have that structure in place. I'm not going to mention them, but you can listen. You've listened to some that we've picked out already.
Yeah.
And we try as much as possible not to sell your future and the children of the future of your children.
My own submission to those in Nigeria, because it's so unfortunate that we can't vote. My own submission to them is,
No, you can vote. You have to go to the
I have to go to. But my own submission here right now is, we are clamoring for change. Are we ready to face the change? I had a discussion with somebody earlier, and he said, Nigerians are clamoring for change. Are we ready to face the change? Looking at Nigerians here in the UK, a lot of Nigerians are flaunting the rules on a regular basis.
True.
A lot of us are flaunting the rules in terms of tax, different things. So if we want to change in Nigeria, if Peter Obi comes with policies...
Please. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Don't you understand? What we're doing out of the continent, you understand, to survive is completely different from what we're doing on the continent.
Okay.
You understand? Because you can influence. You know how many generations you can influence. You can influence the past generation and the future generation. It's me and you that have lucky that we are led the continent, but we have to influence this thing. You understand me? So,
I get you. Carry on.
So for you to say, we're planting certain roads. There are things that we don't even know here. In Africa, you can drive without driving license.
Exactly.
As long as you know how to drive.
And is it right? That's the question.
No, but it's not right. You understand?
So, but let me ask you a question now, George. So if tomorrow, let me ask you a question now, George.
It's not right. You sabi drive motorcar, you drive motorcar.
George, I want to ask you a question. So tomorrow, just imagine, let's say Showore comes into power tomorrow, and he says if you don't have a driving license, you can't drive. Your car will be impounded. Won't there be backlash?
They will.
From even people who supported it and say, this is not what we wanted.
Exactly.
So are you getting my point? So the question is,
Yeah, it wasn't.
so but are we ready to face that? If we are, the question is,
No, we are ready.
we should be ready to face the changes.
Fashola drove Lagos to change. People comply. You see, when leaders are there, they know what to do to drive change. Do you know what it takes to change the whole Lagos? People were literally sleeping in the park. Nobody had people were sleeping under the bridge. And when people complain about Fashola cost him and everything, Baba moved that. In Abeokuta, they were changing. When they wanted to start constructing big and metal roads, do you know how many people's family compound that they knew that they built their houses on the wrong way, and government brought it down. Change. Either you want it or not. Once the leaders have decided, you have to lead. Once the leaders have decided that they will change, trust me. Follow us. They follow the leaders.
Yes. No, I agree 100% what Dimeji is saying. I agree.
So right now we
are
are
ready for the change. We are ready for the change, Kev. You have to tell your audience that we are ready for the change. Okay. Let everybody vote.
Okay, we are almost coming to the end of the program. So right now, I want let's have a final word from you, Abdul.
For me is just go out and do the right thing. Go out and do the right thing. Don't sell your vote.
No, Abdul, you don't have to be saying you are sitting on the fence. Why you?
Don't sit on the fence.
The right thing is, for me, to be honest, I want to see a change in Nigeria that I can go back and I'll be proud of Nigeria. That's what I want to see. Yes. It doesn't matter who the candidate is, either from APC or PDP or Labour or Accord, but let the person be the change we've always been clamoring for. That is it.
Brian.
Yeah, so mine is forget about tribal politics. Yeah, currently we have a president from the north, but is the north more secure than the south? Is rice less expensive in the north than the south? Is the cost of living cheaper in the north than the south?
Yes, it is. I will just through that. Somebody told me that doing a passport in Lagos costs you like 40,000.
Yeah.
But doing a passport in the north is like 15,000.
So you want to travel how many?
That's the passport.
So you see the difference.
That's the passport. Yeah. But think about the other part. Is it not more secure than the south? Can you go out and buy rice less price than you buy in the south?
Yeah.
So people have to think about it. So just vote wisely. Don't go and sell your vote.
Yeah, still sitting on the fence. So, Mr. George, one final word from you.
Well, listen, I'm talking to every Nigerian voter. Please go and vote for the right. We need change in Africa, and it starts with Nigeria. And the first thing is to vote for the candidate that is going to bring us change. We cannot continue to vote for the people that they are telling us that they are the people. Atiku and Tinubu, they have been in the system for a long time. That's my point.
Vote out the old men.
Obi has been in the system for
so, Dimeji.
No. Excuse me. Obi has been in the system, but Obi has done something that nobody has proved.
Tinubu.
No, bro. Atiku never talk his own. I will enter.
I don't care about Atiku. Tinubu and Obi now.
But do you think you are taking out Atiku from the equation? Yes. But do you think Tinubu is psychologically and physically able to lead Nigeria at this point?
No.
We can prove that.
We can prove it.
You saw one of his press conference. The man was visibly shaking. Like someone repacking.
And they asked him a question of name of the party. He couldn't remember the name of the party.
So he's suffering from. He has minor dementia. Yeah. So he has not been diagnosed there. From my experience as a mental health officer, with my experience as a mental health person, I can actually deduce somebody who has some issues by studying the person. And from my study, he has a little bit of dementia. So finally, I would say that what I would say here is we all clamor for a better Nigeria.
Yeah.
We all want Nigeria to change because Nigeria is giant of Africa. So even as we get into the first thing is for us to have our PVCs. That's the first major thing. Because a lot of us who are clamoring, I'm obedient, I'm participant, we do not have PVCs. Go and get your PVC. Vote for the candidate who will take us to the next level and ensure that your vote counts. These are the things you must do. You must ensure you vote.
They have to stay in that voting poll.
Exactly.
Make sure that they count.
Make sure your vote. And with the new system now that's coming up, they don't have to carry the ballot boxes to another place. From there, they declare the votes there, and then they send a result electronically to INEC. So I think that will reduce.
We know electronic. Let's not be telling ourselves.
So it's so unfortunate that at this point in time we have to wrap up the show. We might not have properly exhausted this topic, but I believe in the near future, before the election, we are really going to visit this topic again and have a more robust discussion. We are having a call, but I'm so sorry that at this point we can't take that call because we're already ending the program. So from me, from all of us at the studio, from my producer, from Dimeji, from everybody, I want to say Thank you very much, and peace be unto you, and have a blessed week. God bless you.
Bye.
God bless.